Mr. Christopher. This is my world, and this is Art Connoisseur, the 50th episode, folks. This is a bit of a milestone. The 50th episode. That's awesome. I'm going to show you one of my paintings, my first painting. All right, here we go. It's of the forest. Yeah, my first painting is of the forest. I did it in the forest because I had to be at the source of what I was painting. And it's bad. It is bad. Go gentle into that good night. Yeah, as you can see, the middle's the path. I made that with actual dirt. The rest is paint. I've never claimed to be an artiste. I'm just an artiste connoisseur. That's the difference. But there's a piece for you. I made it. That's mine. I signed it Mr. C. That's going to be all my paints. I'm going to sign it Mr. C. Yeah. $5 for that piece at best. But with that said, folks, we're on episode 50. I'll show you another piece next week. And then I got some other pieces that I'm going to paint too. I got only a few. And then maybe I'll keep training. We'll see. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I don't know is a dang thing. What I do know is this is Art Connoisseur, folks. And we're going to look at some art. Last week we looked at 8 pieces from 2 different people selling pieces. That each person was selling 4 different pieces. So we only looked at those. This week we're going to look at 6 pieces, folks. The number 6, we're going to look at them. Let's get into it, folks. Let's get into looking at some art, talking about how much it costs, talking about where we put it, if we'd even buy it. Does it belong in a museum? Does it not? Does it belong in the trash? Does it belong in a fire pit? Let's get into this, folks. We'll get right into it, Mr. Christopher, with this piece. This is a photograph of a tree arch. That's right. Mr. Christopher went out and he painted the forest. This person went out and took a beautiful picture of a tree arch over a road, or maybe it's a walking path. But it's a beautiful picture of nature. You know, Mr. Christopher loves nature. He speaks for the trees. He is the Lorax. Thus, he speaks for the trees, and he loves himself a photograph of beautiful trees. This is a beautiful photograph. Mr. Christopher, how much does it cost? Would you buy it? Where would you hang it, please, sir? Please take it away. $140 for that photograph. It's a beautiful photograph. Don't get me wrong. I would rather show up to the spot myself and take that beautiful place in myself with my own eyes. For $140, I'm not buying that piece. That's a steep price. If the photographer themselves is selling that piece for $140, I like the value they see within their own art. And I'm sure that getting that piece blown up to that size did cost them a pretty penny or two, maybe even like $50 to $75. So they want to get their money back plus a little more. I understand that. I understand how selling things works. But if it's just some person that got that piece and they want to sell it for $140, I say knock off the 40, bring it down to 100. It is a beautiful piece. You may be able to possibly get 100 for it. Maybe you can get 140, maybe 150, maybe 200 for it for the right if the right person's looking for it. But it's just a photograph. It isn't a painting. A painting does take more effort, is more beautiful. And just if it's done well, I mean, this wasn't, you're not going to spend 140 on this. No, maybe 5, maybe 3, maybe 2. But you're not going to spend 140 on that. But 140 for that painted, we might be talking. But with that said, on to the next piece, folks. And next we're going here, folks, to what's billed as vintage still life painting. That's right, vintage still life painting. I like a painting billed as still life. I do. It's usually a nice piece, always, when it's billed as still life, usually, for the most part, from what I've gathered. I call this piece stock. Time to make stock with that beautiful copper stock pot. I doubt the watermelon's going to go in there, but maybe the watermelon rind. Maybe they're making an interesting, maybe it adds a little zing to the stock. I don't know. But with that said, Mr. Christopher, how much does this piece cost? Would you buy this piece, please, sir? Please take it away. $100 for stocks. We got to make stock. Or still life. I like stocks. Stock. We got to make stock. Beautiful copper pot. Beautiful copper stock pot. I want one. I love that. That looks awesome. I wish I had that. I now want to try to put watermelon rind in my stock and see if it does anything. I feel like it's actually a good addition to the stock. Maybe I could be wrong. I'm going to learn the hard way, but I feel like I think it will add to the stock, but we'll see. I don't know. $100 for that piece. I'm not against $100 for that piece. That piece belongs in my kitchen immediately. If that piece was $20, I might inquire for myself. Remember, Mr. Christopher is a little bit of a cheapskate. Mr. Cheapster, sometimes they call me. I don't like to spend too much money on art. Though I love art and I want to theoretically spend a lot of money on art, physically and realityly, I can't. I just can't. I can't just be spending money on art, on all sorts of art pieces. But I am going to go to Savers soon and get some new pieces for back here because I've been sitting on the same pieces for quite a while and I need some like $5 steals. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, stocks, beautiful stocks, still life. I like that painting for $100. I mean, I'd spend 25 on it personally, but for $100, I think it's worth that. Belongs in your kitchen immediately. 911, get that in your kitchen. And with that said, on to the next piece, folks. For the next piece, folks, we're going here to this little piece billed as Moody Pumpkin. That's right, Moody Pumpkin. This is a beautiful little piece, beautiful Halloween piece. I like the size. I like a lot of things about this. Mr. Christopher, how do you feel about it? How much does it cost? Would you buy it? Please, sir, take it away. Moody Pumpkin. I wanted to save this for my Halloween days because Halloween's coming, folks, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited to get the props up and start doing Halloween episodes again. But that's not for another few months. Either way, I didn't save this piece for then because I was on there now. $80 for that piece, and I gotta say, looking at it size-wise, the frame, the oil painting itself, $80 for that? Yeah, we can do that. I mean, if you were lucky enough to find that at some sort of restore or maybe even possibly a Dollar Tree situation where they don't know how valuable that is yet. Not that it's valuable. It's just cool and it's nice. And clearly that was done personally and it's not done on a giant mass scale where it's just to sell at the Dollar Tree to a million people. That's a personally done piece. Beautiful frame. I like the small size is lovely. Beautiful oil painting of a pumpkin. Moody Pumpkin's a good title. They nailed it on all fronts here. And I gotta say, $80 for that piece it's a fair ask. Honestly, a fair ask. I hate to say it's a fair ask because I want that piece and I don't want to spend $80 on it. But it's a fair ask. It's a beautiful piece, beautiful title, beautiful frame. All the things are there for it. I'm standing with it. And with that said, on to the next piece, folks. For the next piece, folks, we're going here to this vintage forest landscape on a wooden plaque. I love a wooden plaque situation. Beautiful forest landscape. Miss Christopher, how much does this piece cost? Would you buy this piece? Where would you hang this piece? How do you feel about this piece? Please, sir, please take it away. I'll take it away, Larry. Thank you. $20 for that piece. Mr. Christopher loves a wooden plaque piece. It's a good looking piece. It's better than a canvas. It's a beautiful thing. And that's a beautiful forest. I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I love the whole situation. It's a little ironic that you had to kill a tree to make that piece. But sometimes tree death turns into something beautiful, and it stinks. It stinks. It's not the killing of the trees to make beautiful things out of the wood isn't necessarily the problem. It's the mass extinction and genocide of the trees at a mass number. That's the issue. And then they're not being recovered is the other problem. And when they are recovered, they're planting trees that are not native to that land, and they're just useless trees that don't need to be a thing. It's crazy. It's crazy the way that they don't understand. It's because of money and business. This is the problem. And the Jews don't care about anybody or anything, especially the land. They just want to destroy everything, take everything from everybody, make everybody a slave. And that's just the way it is. And then these poor babies are being born into this system, into this slave world. They've slowly but surely started to enslave everyone. It's a terrible thing, but it's like, what am I to do? I don't know. But yeah, with that said, wooden plaque, forest, $20. For $20, it's honestly worth that. It's honestly worth it. It's a beautiful, nice little piece, and it involved a lot of effort to do that. So, nice piece. I feel like it comes from the 70s. That wooden style is very 70s to me. Could be 60s, but I didn't inquire, and I'm not going to. I'm just making assumptions. And you know what they say about assumptions? They make an ass out of you and me. I'm Mr. Christopher the ass. That's what they call me. They also call me the art connoisseur. And with that said, let's go to the next piece, folks. And for the next piece, folks, we're following a little bit of a theme here with another wooden plaque piece. That's right. We got beavers. Beavers on a wooden plaque. Another bit of some more irony here, folks. I mean, they had to destroy a tree to make this beautiful piece. Maybe the beavers destroyed the tree that they made this beautiful piece with, which would be cool in a very codependent relationship there. That's very nice stuff. Two artists working together to make a beautiful piece of art. Mr. Christopher, how do you feel about this piece? How much does this cost? Would you buy it? Please, sir, please. Take it away. It is a known fact Mr. Christopher loves beavers. Loves them. Big beaver fan. $5 for that piece. That's a deal and a half. I mean, come on. That's a deal and a half. $5 for that beautiful wooden plaque beaver piece. Beavers are a wonder to nature. They're a beautiful creature. They just look into them. I just look into beavers. They do great work for the nature of the world around them. Damn. Right? Damn. They make great dams. But beavers. I love me a beaver. I love a wooden plaque piece. That's a print, by the way. That's not like a painting. And I'm wondering if all wooden plaque pieces are prints and not actually painted onto. But I would think that a wooden plaque piece is a wooden plaque, then painted onto, and then like you get a thick stain and you just stain it on there or something. But I don't know. I have to look further into that one too, because Mr. Christopher is not a Mr. Wood paint artist. He's a Mr. Christopher, Mr. Art connoisseurist. So, as you know, let me show you again. I do this. Not that. $5? That's a deal. Would I buy it? Meh. I would think about it. I wouldn't. I would. If I saw it on the shelf at Savers for $5 or $3, I would not purchase it. It's not me. If I had a wooden cabin home in the forest, I would purchase it because it would hang up there. It would make sense there. I don't really have anywhere currently where that would make sense otherwise. Honestly, it would make sense outside, on the outside of your home. I don't know where. Or if you just love beavers, it can go anywhere, really. It belongs in a bathroom. It's a bathroom, too. But on to the last piece, folks. For the last piece, speaking of beavers, speaking of wood, we have this piece, folks. Billed as the artist's vagina. That's right, folks. That's what it was billed as on Facebook Marketplace. The artist's vagina. I also call it hot air balloon crashing to the ground. I also call it Wizard of Oz. I also call it Alice Through the Looking Glass. But with that said, Mr. Christopher, what do you call it? How do you feel about this piece? How much does this piece cost? And would you purchase this piece? Please, sir, please take it away. The artist's vagina, folks. That's right. The artist's vagina. I like hot air balloon falling to the ground. I call it the Grinch's heart. That's right. I call it the Grinch's shriveled heart. Because it's clearly two sizes too small and it looks like a shriveled heart, which is fitting because a lot of times women have shriveled hearts. It is what it is. The artist's vagina, the price of this piece is absolutely outrageous. They were asking for 10 grand. 10 grand, and they cut it down. Don't worry. Don't worry. They knocked a bit off of it. They are asking for now $5,500 for that piece. Outrageous. I mean, I can understand that you put yourself out there, you paint your vagina, you want people to see what you did, and you think that because it's so personal to you, it's your own vagina, you deserve this immense amount of money. But it's like, who are you? Who even are you? I mean, even if Marilyn Monroe painted her own vagina and it looked like that and she wanted to sell it, I mean, maybe Marilyn Monroe could get 10 grand, maybe. But I wouldn't be. I'd be like, I love you, Marilyn. I love you. But I'm not spending 10 grand on your painted vagina. I'm sorry. It's lovely. I'm sure. I mean, that's a lot of thigh. That's a lot of, which, to be honest, that's a beautiful representation of a vagina. They did do a decent job. And I like how it's got this abstractness. I called it 13. That's being crazy. I called it 4 different names. You had the Grinch's heart, you had hot air balloon falling to the ground, you had Alice Through the Looking Glass, and the Wizard of Oz. I mean, those are all fun. You could also call it many other things. Deflated balloon, Pennywise the dancing clown. You can call it a lot of things. But for $5,000, folks, I mean, for $10,000, it better be who's Sydney Sweeney's vagina. You know what I'm saying? It better be someone of value's vagina. Because who are you? I can paint that. But with that said, folks, should I paint my penis? Maybe one day. It'll be smaller than that. You'll be like, what is it? Is it a dot? He painted a dot. But no. Anyway, I have a penis coming up. Not in this episode, maybe next week, maybe the week after, but there's a very, very big penis coming up in Art Connoisseur. You're going to love it, folks. You're going to love it. But either way, with that said, that's the end of Art Connoisseur, episode 50, folks. Episode 50. We're making it through. I've almost done this for a year. We're having fun here, folks. Specials are coming in the next coming weeks. Episode 52 is going to be specials coming up. And what's that? Isn't there 52 weeks in a year? Or is there 54 weeks in a year? At 54 weeks, we made it a full year, folks, and that's coming up. September 4th is a full year. This was episode 50. I had a wonderful time, as I always do, making Art Connoisseur for you and for me and for the others to be. Now, with that said, farewell, folks. Always lead with love. Never be afraid. Keep moving forward. Go enjoy some art. Get out to a museum. Have some fun. Museums are fun. They're not too expensive. Go to the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. It's for free. And there's like 17 museums. It's a great time. Washington, D.C. is a beautiful place, even though it's filled with lizards and Zionists and pedophiles. But other than that, it's a great place to be sometimes. But with that said, folks, that's the end. Farewell. I'll see you next week for stuff. And blah, 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 blah. Mr. Christopher, you crazy.